A very good morning to everybody. Welcome to the class on EVS chapter 13. The name of the chapter, as you can see on the screen, is Water for Life. Children, after doing the previous chapter on the food that we eat, logically, the next best chapter to do was to talk about water. What are the main sources of water in your locality? Are some people not allowed to take water from where you get it? Do all animals and plants need the same amount of water? We are going to explore the answers of these questions, and the other subtopics that we are going to take up in this chapter are sources of water, uses of water, how water reaches our homes, clean water for drinking, water a need for everyone, and water for plants and animals. So let us now begin with the chapter. Water is a colorless and tasteless liquid. It has no smell. We drink it when we are thirsty. Water is precious. We should not waste it. Let us talk about sources of water. Where do we get water from? There are different natural resources of water. Rain is the main source of water on earth. It fills up rivers and lakes to form surface water. It seeps into the ground through the soil to make up underground water. Wells, hand pumps, and tube wells are used to draw this underground water for domestic and other purposes. Seas and oceans are also cannot be used directly for domestic purposes, and irrigation due to high salt contents and impurities. If you see in your book on page number 69, you will be able to see pictures of the sources that we are just talking about: the rain, the sea, the river, and the pond. Uses of water. We use water for many purposes. Energy. Water is used to produce electricity. Agricultural use. Water is a must for agriculture. Farmers need water for irrigation. Agro-based industries like dairy require large amount of water. Industrial purposes. All industries need large amount of water for their production of goods. Public welfare purposes. For public latrines, hospitals, schools, fire extinguishing, construction of buildings, water is needed. For domestic use, water is needed for drinking, cooking, washing, bathing, sanitation, etc. For entertainment, water pools are used for fun and pleasure. For navigation, boats and ships transport people and goods on water. Submarines move underwater. Some daily exercises for which we use water are brushing our teeth, washing our clothes, having a bath, gardening, and watering the plants. Let us talk about a very interesting aspect of how water reaches our homes. Water that comes out of the taps in our homes passes through a number of stages. Water from the rivers and lakes first gets collected in a water treatment plant. Here, germs in the water are killed and purified. Then, this water is collected in large tanks and they are supplied to our houses through a whole network of underground pipes. Clean water for drinking. The water that we get in our taps in our houses is somewhat clean and okay for washing and bathing. However, it may not be safe for drinking purpose. This water can be made safe for drinking purpose by boiling or filtering it. Boiling will kill germs and a water filter will remove impurities from it. Water is a need for everyone. We do not have a good supply of water everywhere. In some places like the desert areas of Rajasthan and Gujarat, people have to walk very long distances to fetch water. In slum areas, people wait for hours in a queue to get a bucket or a can of water from the water tanker. At some places, a long queue of vessels can be seen near a public tap. Once upon a time, at some places in our country, a few rich people only owned wells and tanks. They did not allow certain people to take water from these resources. There was social discrimination at every level. But now such an act is against the law. Water is a prime need for everyone. Everyone, irrespective of caste and gender, can take water from a common water resource. Access to sufficient clean water is everybody's right. Water is also needed by plants and animals in order to live and grow. Let us talk about water needs for plants. Plants need water to live. They take in water from the soil through roots. If we do not water the plants regularly, they die. All plants do not require the same amount of water for their growth. A desert seems like a bad home for plants. The ground is hard and dry. The sun is burning hot and there is very little water. Yet many plants do survive in the desert. Cactus is a common desert plant. It stores up all the water that it can get. It swells up to hold a store of water. The leaves are modified into needles which check the water loss from leaves. Date palm is also an important desert tree. It is always found near an oasis. Oasis is an area in the desert where there is water and where plants grow. Some plants, such as lotus, grows well in shallow water. Some plants like money plant, mint, rice, and even neem need a lot of water to grow. There are a large number of plants that grow in seas and oceans. If you open your book, I would like to see you to see pictures of these plants that we have been talking about, the cactus in the desert, the date palm that you can see near the oasis, the neem tree and the sea plant to talk about. Let us talk about animals. Animals also need water to drink and to bathe. A large number of animals live in water. Fish is a common example of aquatic animals. In deserts, only those animals survive which use little water. Elephants live in herds near a source of water because they need a lot of water for their various activities. A hippopotamus keeps cool by lying in a water hole with just its ears, nose, and ears above the surface. When an animal is thirsty, it becomes restless. We must have seen a dog hanging its tongues out and panting. It does so to sweat and also when it is very thirsty. A camel can survive for about a month without taking food or water. It lives on the fat stored in its hump. Camel is therefore called the ship of the desert. Desert animals such as snakes, lizards, kangaroos, and rats are adapted to the conditions of less water. During the day, kangaroos and rats stay in burrows to keep cool. They save water by eating their own droppings. Here in your book, you can see pictures of the animals that we've spoken about: fish in the water, camels drinking in water, elephants and kangaroos also drinking water. Let us quickly recall what we have studied in this chapter. Water is a colorless and tasteless liquid. It has no smell. Rain is the main source of water. Rivers, lakes, underground water, also the other sources of water. We use water for many purposes, such as to generate electricity, for agricultural use, for industrial purposes, for domestic use, etc. The water that comes out of the taps in our homes passes through a number of stages before it reaches us. Tap water can be safe for drinking purpose by boiling or filtering. Water is a need for everyone. Caste, gender, and financial condition do not matter. Plants and animals also need water to live. In the next chapter, we shall continue our discussion on water even more. Till then, have a good day and goodbye.